sale and distribution of software applications for mobile devices.
Chair recognizes Ms. Fairley to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'm really thrilled to lay out this bill, SB 2420. So right now, minors can easily access addictive and harmful content without parental consent. And unlike the physical world where we check for tobacco or alcohol, the digital world, it lacks a lot of safeguards. SB 2420 right now requires parental approval. It establishes age verification standards for app stores. It restores parental empowerment. And there's really two key elements I want to address in this bill. First one is contractual agreements. Right now, when parents and kids download apps, they are entering into a contractual agreement, essentially giving over their data to big tech, which then they sell it online. The other part of this bill that's really important is transparency. Parents deserve to have access to the information about their apps that their kids are downloading. So for example, apps like Hoop that are rated 12 and up. We would probably all agree that kids should not be downloading apps that are rated 12 and up. Members, why this matters is that we want to protect our kids. Move passage.
There's an amendment.
Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Bryant, for what
will the
purpose?
gentlelady yield?
Ms. Fairley, would you yield for questions?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Fairley, I consulted with you this morning about this bill and an amendment to this bill. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And the consultation was asking you to accept an amendment that would not relieve, that would change the bill so that the bill does not relieve the people that make these apps that are inappropriate for children from the responsibility to verify the age of the person trying to download the app. Isn't that correct?
We did discuss some realm of that. Yes, sir.
Thank you. In fact, your bill, unless that amendment is added, relieves the people that produce these apps that are inappropriate for children from responsibility to age verify anybody who is applying to download that app. Isn't that correct?
We had some form of conversation earlier.
But I'm asking about your bill now, and you acknowledged to me in conversation, and I'm hoping to elicit this acknowledgement for the benefit of the House.
Yes, it cut out a little. Can you repeat that last question for me?
Yes. It is true, is it not, that your bill, unless amended, relieves the maker and seller of these apps
That is not true. Not
from
necessarily.
responsibility to age verify the applicant that is seeking to download the app, so that a child, they're not going to verify the age of a person, child or adult, that's trying to download the app, because now your bill doesn't require them to do it. It says the app store has to do it, but the app maker, the bad guys that are making stuff we don't want to see our kids see, are not going to have to age verify. Isn't that correct?
That is not a correct representation of the legislation in the bill.
Well, show me in the bill where it requires the app maker, the maker of the app, the folks that are producing this unacceptable material,
So
to age verify.
if you would like to come down front and show me in the legislation where that's true, right now in section 121.056, it lays out that there is an option if app developers in good faith.
You're saying they have the option. If they would like to verify, they can, but they're no longer required to your bill to verify. So, and that's correct, isn't it?
If you would again like to come down up front and show me where in the legislation, to your point, I'm happy for you to show
Well,
me.
that's not the point, because I already did that with you standing at our desk, and we opened the bill up together. And the point is that the bill, as it currently stands, unamended, relieves the very people that are making unacceptable content for our children from the obligation to verify the age of a person seeking to download the app.
Representative Bryant, we did not show you in the bill. You did not point out anything in the legislation of your point. Again, if you'd like to come up front and show me, I'd be more than happy to see.
But you acknowledged to me that in our conversation in a moment ago that instead of a mandate that they have to age verify, Now they just have the option to age verify.
So, Mr.
Isn't
Bryant,
that correct?
I have a quick question. Have you read the language, all 12, 16 pages of this bill?
Well, the question is, why would you not accept an amendment that just simply makes clear in just a few lines? It says nothing in this bill says that an app maker is relieved of the obligation to age verify before letting anyone access their app. Why not accept an amendment that says that?
So, with all due respect, Representative Bryant, I'm afraid I think there's probably a little bit of a disconnect because we probably both agree on the point that we want to protect our children, right?
Right.
Yes. We probably both agree that we don't want big tech taking our kids' data, correct?
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about what we discussed briefly. I'd mentioned to you right now, one, it's so disappointing that we are in a place where big tech can take data and sell it online. And when we talked about this amendment you brought up earlier, I explained to you, right now, your amendment breaks First Amendment concerns. And I know as a body here in the House, we do not want to discriminate against apps. I'm sure you agree with that as well. And we also for sure do not want to break First Amendment rights.
But Ms. Fairley, you are unable to make any type of a close case that there's any First Amendment rights involved with this amendment. The amendment says, notwithstanding subsection A, nothing in this chapter relieves a social media platform from doing age verification as required by law, state law and federal law. Nothing relieves them of that obligation.
Mr. Bryant.
Unless this is added to your bill relieves them of that obligation. Isn't that correct?
Mr. Bryant, I'd ask that we stay on the bill, not the amendment.
I'm sorry, what?
I'd ask that we need to stay on the bill, the legislation. If you have questions about the legislation, I'm happy to ask.
Well, it's an
You're
indirect
discussing the
way of
amendment.
asking about your legislation, which relieves the very people that are producing unacceptable content for our children from the obligation to age verify. I can't see why you want to do that.
Once again, if you'd like to point out up front, up here, and show me where in the language you don't like it, I'm more than happy to talk about that. But again,
we did
I'd like
that
to
already.
stay on the bill.
We spent a great deal of time over here
You
at
did
your
not.
desk.
You did not show me in the language on the bill. But I'm happy for you to come up front and let's
Yeah.
chat about it.
Fine. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I raise a point of order against further consideration of House Bill 2420. I should say the committee substitute for Senate Bill 2420 on the grounds that the caption fails to give the legislature and the public reasonable notice of the subject of the bill under House Rule 8, Section 1A1.
Bring your point of order to the front, please,